Now it's the second weekend of the NCAA tournament, which means we are back with another look at the bracket and make a few predictions to see who will keep dancing their way into the Elite Eight. First of all, of course, we're here with the Illini here in Central Illinois, so let's start with the East region. We have 4 of the top 5 seeds in that region, UConn versus San Diego State, and the Illini versus the Cyclones. First one here, we're looking at UConn and San Diego State. I think this will be probably the least entertaining game of the Sweet 16. I do think UConn's going to roll through this one. I think they're just playing too well at the moment. I think UConn's going through. Now, this one, on the flip side, another game in the East region, but I think this will be one of the most entertaining games, Illinois and Iowa State. High-flying offense versus a suffocating defense, one head coach Brad Underwood called the best in the country. Now, I still think Terrence Shannon Jr., he's one of the best players in the country, will be the best player on the floor, so give me Illinois. Now, we're going to be moving over to the West region, UNC and Alabama. The Tar Heels made light of Izzo in March, while Alabama, they struggled in both of their 2 double-digit matchups, facing 2 double-digit seeded teams before this round. Now, I'll ride with the Tar Heels for that reason. I do think Alabama, they have a little bit of a run and gun style offense, and I think that'll come back to bite them. Now, the other matchup here in the West, Arizona and Clemson. I, again, am still terribly surprised to see Clemson make it this far, and I think Arizona and that eventual Caleb Love versus the Tar Heels matchup will happen. Give me both Arizona and UNC to move on. Now let's move over to the Midwest and the South. First, in the Midwest, I think we have ourselves some chaos. Finally, after a straightforward start to the tournament with, in general, very little madness, I think we're finally going to see our first #1 seed go down. The Duke Blue Devils, they are going to remain hot. They're going to take down Houston. They dismantled JMU in Vermont in the previous round, so give me the Blue Devils over Houston, knocking off the first 1 seed. And in the second one, we have NC State and Marquette. NC State, a bit of a darling here in the tournament, and I think we're going to have a good one on our hands. NC State, the Cinderella team at the moment, they don't even really feel like that much of a surprise. They rolled through the ACC tournament, and now the first 2 rounds. So when you look at Marquette, they're a team that struggled versus Colorado. So again, I'm going to ride with the ACC. Give me NC State to keep that run alive. Now we're going to be back to a bit more straightforward here in this bottom region here with Purdue and Gonzaga. I'm going to take Purdue. I think Purdue really is going to get over the hump they've been trying to get over. I think they continue down the right path. And again, it's really hard to predict against Edey at the moment. So although I do think it'll be a fight, I like Purdue. And finally, Creighton and Tennessee, another game of the Sweet 16 candidate. Dalton Connect versus a very balanced Creighton offense. 3 scores over 17 points per game. And because of that, those 3 scores over 17 points per game, a very balanced attack, I'm going to go with Creighton to knock off the Vols. And in the News Channel 20 Tournament Challenge, our very own Stacey Skryzak is still in first place with her 520 points. Our sports director, Dante Furco, in second and third. And Craig Roberts occupies 4th spot. And there's a big-time tie for 5th. That includes Colton Calvert and Geoff Kaufman, being 2 of those in that tie. Now, UConn will have a big impact, as you can see, on the rest of this tournament. Multiple people having UConn winning this one. So I'll be back following the Sweet 16 for another update on our News Channel 20 Tournament Challenge. A few more predictions. But for now, that'll do it. I'm St.Jean.